Mighty Vikings, with this video, I want to dive into the story recap of Kingdom Come Deliverance with you. So everything you need to know and wants to know before jumping into the sequel that comes out in just a mere few hours or a day, if I'm not mistaken. So by the moment you see this video, probably the game is out already, but it can prepare you in a story-wise for everything we need. We're going to pause and stop here and there, talk about the situation, what's going on, and give you a little bit of an insight of what's happening and why is Henry who he is, just before you start playing the sequel. With that, let's hop on in.
Peggy 18.
In the early 15th century was a time of turmoil in the Holy Roman Empire, which had flourished under the late Emperor Charles IV. But now, with his son Wenceslas, the idol on the Bohemian throne was falling into disarray. It's called the idol because he was more interested in partying, whoring, and not really taking care of his country. The successor of Emperor Charles IV. The king inactively angered many of the nobility, as well as his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary, who decided to take drastic steps to restore order to the empire. So basically, he used his idleness of his brother, or half-brother, in that occasion, to acquire mercenaries, to acquire military power, and to just force upon the power towards his direction and force nobility to side with him, or else. That's kind of like the backstory. Good old Bohemia. Wild times. Goosebumps instantly. For Skalitz, a little bit of a background. Skalitz was a silver mine at that point. Was kind of like the money production around Bohemia in 1403. So, of course, whatever produces money and prints money can attract quite some eyes. And, you know, I guess it's also a very interesting target for somebody leading an army of mercenaries who need to be paid. But here we are with Henry and his smithing father and his mother carrying some baskets back to their home, working on a sword that has been ordered by the nobleman Sir Radzig, who is the lord of this very establishment, Skalitz.
Well, husband, how goes it?
Good. I should get it finished today.
It's magnificent.
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz.
And with that, Sir Markwart von Aulitz presents himself, our nemesis, you could say, from Henry. He is forging quite a hate towards this character. Markwart von Aulitz. Remember that name, especially when you're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance II. It will become of importance.
I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia.
Give the sword to Sir Radzig. If anything happens, he'll take care of you. He owes me.
And here the Hungarian mercenaries are coming in, the so-called cumans, that are being paid by Sigismund for, you know, all his raids and deeds that he wants to. And he pays them by letting them just plunder and pillage wherever they go. Look at Henry's father being a badass.
It's all right, it's all right.
Why did you do it?
It's happening in 1405.
To me, Father. Why?
Run to us! Hurry, Henry! Come on, Hal! You can...
I'm actually happy that they cut that very drastic scene out of here, because once his father went down, the cumans were surrounding her mother, and everybody was stabbing her with a spear or weapon, and he was just standing there watching helplessly with no power. And this gives quite a mark on Henry. While playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, you will have all kinds of flashbacks and nightmares linked to this very moments. And I'm curious if that still drags on into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if you will have some, you know, subconscious fights that you're gonna have.
Still make it! Run!
Or super brutal.
Help! Skalitz has been attacked!
So what's happening here is he was trying to run towards Skalitz's Burgfrieds. What's the English term for it? The you know, the keep at the top, but he didn't manage before the drawbridge was put up, so he had to run. As he runs, you have also a chance to stop at Theresa's house, one of the girls that is super much into Henry, and you can there decide if you want to distract the humans of her getting, well, very corporally assaulted. And if you do that, you manage to set her free, or you can just pass by and ignore that and look for your story as. But on the travels, you're getting shot by an arrow because some human riders, of course, follow you. And he rides to the nearby castle of Talmberg over here. Hopes for aid and help.
They could be those humans of Sigismund's. Must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
There we go, Talmberg.
What?
Sigismund got only elected by the German king in 1411. I missed that from the list of titles when mentioned, but that didn't happen yet. No, yeah, it is not happening yet.
The hell's name happened?
I don't know what army it was, but it was huge.
We have to prepare for the worst.
And even though the Lord of Talmberg told Henry to not go back because it is now being plundered by bandits, it is not safe, he could not stand idle and wanted to go back in order to bury his father and mother. But on that occasion, silly Henry gets into an ambush and loses the sword that his father has created with him together for Sir Radzig.
Next time I won't run. I'll find the one who did this to you. I remember his face. I'll find him. I'll never run away again.
I'm getting tears in my eyes.
Sigismund ran out of coin for knights.
In the meantime, Sir Radzig managed to sneak out to the castle during the nighttime because a heavy rain comes over, and he moves all his people over to Radzig, not stopping in Talmberg, so he doesn't put the Lord of Talmberg into danger of housing him. So they went all the way to Radzig to rest there and regroup there with the Lord of Radzig. And this is where this whole situation happens when Henry comes back and charges in there, meeting Sir Radzig and telling him about the
So he
sword.
recruited those whore sons that settled in Hungary.
That's why he attacked us. He was after our silver.
You've no business here. Clear off.
Wait, it's Henry. Why have you come here?
I must get your sword back. One of those thieves stole it from me.
This is nice work.
I've lost a castle, a village, silver mines, and a good half of my subjects. Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The gall of him. Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Obard in danger with his actions, now he wants a promotion.
How do you punish someone who's already lost everything, Courage and blind obedience are good qualities for a soldier. You'd like to enter my service?
Yes, I would. You won't regret it.
Oh, I probably will.
And with that very occasion, he enters into the service of nobility, into the service of Sir Radzig, trying to prove himself and gets taught all kinds of things. This is the moment also where you get your first training, your proper training with swordsmanship, where you learn how to parry, how to act with it. A lot of people trying to explore the world and interact with all kinds of things before you do your first trainings. But this is a very realistic simulation towards the whole medieval scenario. And Henry does not know how to wield a sword, so you'll have a very hard time when you play doing that.
You showed not only courage, but loyalty to your liege. Tribulations spawn in life over and over again, and we must stand our ground and face them. Good luck, son.
That's
You instructed me to close the tavern at the proper hour. You can't talk to me like that. I'm a nobleman.
So this was the first close-up interaction with his upcoming best friend, closing the tavern on him and having a little bit of a drunk fight.
Crucifix! It's time you learned how to lead people. You can take Henry here as your page.
Absolutely.
And then Henry gets forced upon him as a page for having their crawl over there. Also, the bearded guy that you just saw over there saying crucifix is the CEO of Kingdom Deliverance of Warhorse Studios, and got 3D models after him. You think the German thing sounds better? I never played it, so I can't tell if the voice acting of the Germans are in a better quality. But of course, it's a taste thing. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely not.
After that, they go on the first hunt and are getting ambushed by humans.
Those bastards make so bold no more than a mile from the castle. If it wasn't for you, Hans would be dead.
Because Hans had the glorious idea while going out for a hunt, because he was bored, to use a bow to hunt a boar. And shooting the bow on the boar just injured it, so the boar was dolting off into the woods. And we saw that follow-up scene where they followed the boar, and Hans gets captured by humans and rescued by Henry.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. A stable boy came from Neuhof. He says brigands raided the stud farm this morning.
Who did this? Who were they?
We don't know, sir. The stable boy just kept babbling about some huge fellow in black armor who led the attack.
Sir, let me ride with them. Their leader, he must be the one who attacked me at Skalitz.
So this is where Henry kind of gets the trail, or thinks of getting the trail, of the big bold guy who beat him to a pulp earlier at Skalitz and stole the sword of Sir Radzig. So he's very eager to help with the investigation over here at Neuhof and find out what happened and who those brigands are, where they went.
There can't be 2 men in the whole kingdom who look like that.
What kind of beasts could do this?
Oof.
I'm looking for those bastards who attacked Neuhof. Where can I find them?
And he is the best priest I've ever seen in any book, movie, or a depiction of a priest. A former fighter who became a man of God, who is he's quite the odd guy. You drink with him, you have your kind of very intercoursey action in a stable with him and 2 ladies. He's gonna vomit from the church and other shenanigans. He's quite a character.
They've been hired through some crony of theirs. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko.
The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt. He was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
Stand your ground, you dogs!
Slavitz is the village or castle that has been abandoned for quite a time, where these brigands build up their camp. And also, if you own the DLC, where this RPG becomes also a sort of city builder, because then you are rebuilding Slavitz, and it becomes your own little humble establishment, so that brings you income, that produces products, that gives you good horses, and so on and so forth. Quite an interesting and nice DLC for the first game.
Where's my fucking sword?
It's not over yet, you scum. And where's my sword? What have you done with it?
I'll see you in hell.
We found a trunk full of coin down below. Someone was paying this gang very well. Whoever engineered it was highly placed. They won't give up after one defeat.
I will make you pay for this.
And this very fella over here, we meet at the very beginning of the game, before the raid of Skalitz, talking to Henry's father, the smith.
It's time for the next part of our plan. Give the word.
Yes, sir.
Kind of mischievous nobleman.
Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning.
Sir.
He's surprised to see me here. And I expect he's looking for this?
You bastard.
I'm sure your father will pay a nice fat ransom for you.
My father's dead.
Your real father is alive. You even know him. It's your liege lord, Radzig Kobyla.
And this is where the knot goes open, and Sir Radzig was apparently the father of Henry, and Henry is a bastard son who got then handed over to the smith in order to be raised there, so nobody knows of this kind of like thingy. This is spoilies. I mean, the game is super old, and this is a recap of the story of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1.
The only force in this country capable of defeating me is Sigismund's, and he pays me. When he wins, I win. Everything I take now will be mine.
A man like you will never rule here.
Come on, Eric, let's go. We've got work to do.
Henry, maybe we started off on the wrong foot. But I'm your only chance to get out of here alive. So do you want my help or not?
Oh yeah, I remember. He's the guy from Skalitz just betraying you to the brigands because of fear for his life. And the regrets apparently bite him in the ass and helps Henry to escape. What a beautiful game.
Sir. This fellow...
Henry.
Father?
I planned to tell you. I'm sorry Istvan, of all people, beat me to it. But now we have more urgent matters to deal with.
We have to take them by surprise. It would be best to attack tomorrow night.
In the meantime, what happened is that they attacked that bandit camp. And while they were all out there, this Istvan has infiltrated Talmberg and got the lady of the Lord of Talmberg into custody. And it ends up in a kind of like a sneaky infiltration mission.
Come out, you rat! Hide behind my wife like some mangy whelp! I could just as easily cut her throat!
I have hostages enough.
Radzig, what do you want, you viper?
To see you all die.
Fire!
It's such a good game. Highly recommend it. What a good story.
I'd say we have no choice but to attack.
So, I might have a solution. What about exchanging hostages? Seems to be on very, intimate terms with Toth.
You're your father's son, by God.
Loose!
Istvan, it's over. I give you my word as a knight and lord. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
I'll give you her ladyship. But Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz. I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance. Not a hair on her head harmed. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. I think I'll keep it as a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it.
Yeah! And so a second nemesis enters the fray of Henry. So I'm very much guessing that we want the Sir Mustachio that we saw at the very beginning, who was on the side of Sigismund, who ordered the attack on Skalitz and killed his father and mother. Well, it plays out his kind of like, was it then stepfather? No, he's not a stepfather. He's his adoptive father, probably adoptive father. And this very Sir Istvan and the sword that he wants back.
glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
It looks like it's all over.
Not
It
by a
does.
long
Thank you,
shot.
Relic.
This kingdom needs a king. My cousin, Wenceslas IV.
Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn. We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
Finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that horseman who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Audentes fortuna juvat. And with that, ladies and gentle beards, that sums up the story of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Getting you ready for the sequel. I'm very intrigued if you're going to join the fray and play it as well. We over here on the channel might do it, but then depends, of course, of your interest in the people in the Discord who will vote on whatever next main game we shall tackle. At the moment, we have Baldur's Gate 3 and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We're ending with Act 2 in Baldur's Gate 3, entering the last sequence of the storyline of BG3. That means we are in the votes right now, who and what will be our next main game here on the channel. So if you want to influence that, Discord is the place. And of course, let me know in the comments for those watching this on YouTube. What do you think of it? Until next time.